Now joining us for his annual visit here to Golf Talk Canada, our good buddy Jeff Feltrin from Adidas Golf Canada. Feltsy, welcome back to the show. How was 2025 for you?
Well, thanks for having me, Scully. It's great to see you. 2025 was an exceptional year. There was so many major milestone moments. I think of our Adizero launch, which I know you and I spent some time together back in January. That was such a productive launch for the brand. And then really at a pinnacle moment during the Masters when we launched Originals and watching Ludwig wear our Originals apparel through that event was just so monumental. And you're always really guarded with seeing how well our athletes do on tour. And we had some incredible wins this year. It started with Nick Taylor early on in the year at the Sony. Ludwig won at the Genesis. We had an incredible win with Grace Kim at the Evian as well. So we were really pleased with how well our athletes performed this year as well.
It was another great year, and you touched upon a couple of products there that we'll get into here. But the latest one that just came out recently, the Tour 360, the ode to the original 20 years ago. This shoe is so cool. And we were talking before going on air here about my conversation with Mason and the sense of pride that he had from that shoe. What's the reaction been like from your perspective on this really, really cool shoe?
Yeah, I think you could easily dub this franchise our most iconic franchise for the brand. It's just had such a journey, and to see it come to life this past month in the 20th anniversary was so welcomed. I know we got it on the feed of some of our famous influencers, yourself included, and it's just been so cool to see how we've paid a bit of an homage to the OG version of that Tour 360 shoe, and bringing it to life with some of our newer technologies to really draw that performance forward in that shoe. It's been really really well received.
And what was really cool about that shoe too was how it was delivered in terms of the box, because the box had all of the previous Tour 360s on the actual box. And then Phil, so they have these like trading cards as well on it too.
Yeah, I think the brand marketing team, I give them all the credit here. Obviously, they take a ton of time to build these creations and have these unveil moments with all those that are afforded a pair of these up front. So they take some really particular steps to detail, and obviously seeing the journey and the timeline that shoe has lived, it's been incredible.
It really has been. And something you also touched upon earlier here was originals golf. And I've been a part of Team Adidas for quite some time now, but I'm not sure if I've ever heard the amount of reaction, incredibly positive reaction from friends, from family, from coworkers about Originals Golf. And for it to launch around the Masters was really cool. Tell us about what some of the reaction that you received from Originals Golf.
Yeah, I mean, we really built that up to a crescendo in April, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I think the moment we learned internally that we were going to be able to bring, this trefoil logo back into golf, we were so excited as a group. And I know Bob was able to make a trip over to Germany earlier in the year to see the archives, and really that's really where it starts. I mean, what other brand can leverage the archives and that brand history to bring a family of product to life? Really at the kickoff of the year, if you will, for that first major championship at the Masters. And you're right, friends and family were buzzing, and my phone was certainly getting a lot of phone calls and well wishes as we launched that product. And we've kept a lot of momentum even thereafter, launching it further into the summer and into the fall. And I'm really excited to see how it continues to unfold even into 26.
It's such a cool line. And earlier in the year, when we were shooting our television special from Augusta National, Mark, Bob, and I were all wearing Adidas Originals Golf. And I think that was one of our best social media posts of the year. And how about Ludwig Oberg that week? Not only wearing the product right away, but he almost won a green jacket that week too.
He did, and I think that tells you not just the fashion elements that we build into the originals. Everything we build ties back to performance. So if performance is not instilled into the fabrics or into the footwear we provide our athletes, I wouldn't expect them to wear it, but they proudly wear it because they know that performance is helping driving them through their own performance and their own journey in all these moments and these events.
Something you touched upon there is fashion and putting it in play right away. And year in, year out, Adidas Golf continues to set the standard in terms of matching fashion and function. As we look ahead here, what are some of the strategies for Adidas Golf to continue to do the same thing?
I would start by saying just, we're so excited just to see the growth in the game. I mean, we learn through a lot of the reports that we get from whether it's from Golf Canada or whether it's from the National Golf Course Owners Association, the game is growing. We're seeing more rounds being played. And that's essentially where we want to meet the golfer is where they are. So as we bring, whether it's our sport performance range to life, whether it's to bring our originals products to life. We want to meet that golf consumer right to the core. So again, I go back into how many other brands can really share those successes, having such a broad range that really has something for every golfer, whether it's putting it on your body to wear, or whether it's to put on your feet to chase those rounds. We're so pleased to see that how the product range through our global design teams has done such an incredible job to bring it to life.
Yeah, I was talking with Golf Canada President Adam Scully recently. He was telling me some of the numbers about how much golf has grown in this country, and it's huge. And in terms of the growth of the game, that's another aspect that in our line of work continues to change almost daily in terms of professionals, influencers, that sort of thing. Especially on social media now, right? There's this new reach that influencers have, which is really cool. So what kind of strategies does Adidas Golf have to continue to, whether it's signing a new influencer or building an influencer up to make them even bigger?
Yeah, I think, number one, we're not new to the space. We've got incredible partners like Golf Talk Canada and yourself and Mark and Bob. But we've also been working with many influencers over the last several years, whom I know you're good friends with many of them.
Hmm.
I think this year we've really built it up to, again, a little bit more of that crescendo moment where we signed a big deal with Barstool Sports and
Yes.
Foreplay. The Internet Invitational, which just obviously finished their final match just a couple of weeks ago now, is getting a viewership that is unprecedented. So again, when I mentioned we want to be where the golf consumer is and where they want to shop, that's precisely where we want to be.
Yeah, that internet invitational is really cool and great to see all these golfers who are very talented and have this great reach. It's something really cool that where the golf space it continues to evolve. Now, at the start of the conversation, you talked about players winning on the professional level. Guys like Nick Taylor, gals like Grace Kim, Ludwig Oberg, that sort of thing. But the Monday after, or the day after on a Sunday, when you guys have a victory from this three stripe. What's the vibe like in the office or internal emails, that sort of thing, when you see pros get the job done?
Yeah, we have a lot of fun with it. I mean, we're really afforded the benefit of working for a brand that has just such a great culture. Mondays are always a great day that we can celebrate in the golf business when we do have a win on Sunday. We call them win lunches. We try to bring the team together and have a nice win lunch together and celebrate and just talk about how the event unfolded for our athletes on tour. And I think it's just a great way to keep the culture moving, keep the vibe alive, and obviously supporting our athletes.
Yeah, when that's I love that, the win lunch. I think we should incorporate that to our Golf Talk Canada here on a daily basis. But last year on the show, we talked about travel, and earlier in this conversation as well, we spoke about Adizero and being at Cabot Citrus Farms earlier this year. Bob had a chance to go to Germany, but you also had a chance to go to India earlier here in 2025. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was at Delhi, India, in the early part of April, actually during Masters Week. So I couldn't have been any further from Augusta National than I was that particular week. That was a journey that I had been able to live out for almost 14 months. It was a leadership program that Adidas had adopted myself to join 50 other peers to embark on a leadership journey that was governed by Harvard Business School. We had an incredible time in India, some of those times that I will never forget for the rest of my life. Whether it was hand delivering shoes to a young girls' government school, learning about our business in general in India, how they've had to overcome many hardships and hurdles in their own respective country. Um, it was something I'll never forget. It's actually giving me goosebumps just talking about it right now that I will forever be proudly reminiscent of being there.
Oh, good for you. It sounded like an amazing trip, and yeah, one you'll never forget. Now, Felt, in closing here, I asked Mason the same question. Now, I know you can't get into too many specifics here, given we're on a nationally broadcast radio show on social media, that sort of thing. But how excited are you for what's to come from Adidas Golf in 2026?
Yeah, it's an exciting part of the year. Obviously, we're just getting to the end of our fiscal calendar year, where I really hope many of the team that works so hard to put such a great effort into the season, whether it's our global teams, whether it's our local market teams, we will get some rest in going through the balance of the holiday season. But the minute we turn that page over to January, I'm so excited to see what obviously the rest of our consumers will then get to see and learn in real time, is the new range of product, the stories we plan to tell. I do want to see originals continue to be successful and be a mainstay model within our global range. So it's going to ramp up really quickly. Those first 90 days always do in a new calendar year. And I'm excited for you and the team to be a part of it. And it's going to be great.
We love our relationship with Adidas Golf. We love what we wear on the air too. We look good, we feel good, and it's just a great time as always with Adidas Golf. Felt, thanks so much for your time today, my friend. It's been a long time. Hope to see you in 3D here at some point very soon.
Sounds great. Thanks, Scully.